Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Regina, and we are going to make sure that you understand how to have happiness, the difference between happiness and joy, and why you probably need both. Okay, so we're going to cover those again. How to have all of those things, all the things. So, why am I talking about this? Well, I'm a double board certified psychiatrist and a lifestyle medicine provider. So, what is lifestyle medicine? Lifestyle medicine is basically using lifestyle to ensure that you have health, wellness, and longevity. That's really in a nutshell. If you want the actual the actual definition in that they use, then you should go to their site, the American College of Lifestyle Medicine, ACLM, and you'll see it. Now, let's talk about happiness. Let's talk about joy. And let's talk about why you actually need both. I think everybody needs both. I believe everybody needs both. And there's a lot of data to support that and how you can get definitely a dose of medicine and why happiness is medicine. I'll talk about the dose of medicine. So happiness is based on happenings. Okay. So if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. So if you are having a great day, things are going in alignment for you, things seem to be going well, things are great, things are wonderful, things are nice and kind, and all the good things, you're probably going to feel happy for the most part because it's based on happenings. If you won the lottery, you might feel happier. A great example, and I'm going to start doing these, I'm going to start putting up snippets of some of my favorite movies and then talking about them and using the education point, because I think media, yes, it can be eye candy and brain candy, but media and different forms, different art forms, opera and ballet and all the other ones as well, can teach you things. Okay. They can teach you some wonderful things, including everything about mental health. That's one of the reasons that I love psych cinema. We used to do that as residents. It's something that I want to do with our medical students and such. Because when you're looking at cinema, it can be a great example of real life. For example, if you've ever seen, it's part two. The Minions are in there. Gru is in there. But Gru and the Minions, whatever the movie that is, you know which movie I'm talking about. With Gru and the Minions, when he kind of falls for the young lady and he's on his way to go see her, you hear the song, Because I'm Happy, and everybody's all happy. And he's happy because of the happenings around him. Things are going well. His case is going well. His kids are doing well, and his love life for the most part is kind of going well because he's found this person that he seems to want to be able to get in like with and have he's kind of Twitter pated with her. But then he learns that she's leaving and she's going away. Then he comes back and he knocks over the table and the sound is all rainy and then he looks sad. Okay, so he wasn't happy very long. He was happy as long as the happenings around him were happy. So that's why I don't put too much stock in happiness. When everybody's like, I just want to be happy, I want to live the happy lifestyle, because that really is very much tied to happenings. And when things aren't going well around you, honestly, you're either going to have to be content being not happy a lot of the times, or honestly be miserable because you can't always control what happens around you. Even for the most controlling or the wealthiest among us, you still cannot control everything around you. And so that might be why you see some people that aren't happy have major control issues, or that aren't happy. They're kind of always trying to control as much as they can the happenings around them so that they feel happy. But what are some ways within a healthy way that you can be happy despite what's happening around you? Or how can you create your own mini bit of happenings? I tell people to get a dose of medicine, a daily dose of medicine. And the D stands for dopamine, O stands for oxytocin, S for serotonin, and E for either endorphins or epinephrine. And you can use them both because both of them can greatly impact your mood. So D for dopamine. The way to get dopamine, honestly, there's really two main ways. One is external, meaning you're going to take something that on the inside is going to increase your dopamine, or you're going to expose yourself to things that are going to increase dopamine. Me being able to be around the flowers and the plants and looking them and seeing my children, all of those things can make me feel better. Oxytocin is better for that, but you can get a little dopamine hit if you're doing things like that externally. And then internally, that's the part where I am thinking about something positive, or thinking about a past accomplishment, because my body really can't tell the difference between past accomplishment and something that's going on right now. If I just sit and think about something that I did and it's just like, I did the dang thing. Jesus and I, we were on one accord with that, and we did that. My dopamine just spiked. Right? Just me thinking about it, not even actually being there, because your body, your brain really can't necessarily 100% tell the difference between a past event I'm thinking about and something that's actually going on right in the moment, which is why mindfulness is great for dopamine in the moment. But then your past, your memories are great for thinking about dopamine and getting that spike in the moment, but thinking about something from the past. So that's why gratitude and gratitude journals so incredibly powerful, is because of that. Oh, oxytocin. Oxytocin is the love hormone. The body naturally makes that for women when we are pregnant and delivering, and we have that oxytocin rush. The chemical version of it, pitocin, is what people can be given exogenously to help contract the uterus to make baby come a little faster. But your body's internal oxytocin that you naturally make is not only pressing down on the uterus to get baby out faster so you can see and hold and bond baby and increase your oxytocin again, but you can get oxytocin from bonding with, cuddling, hugging people, plants, animals. Doesn't have to be a person. I know we're all like, oh yeah, let's be in this wonderful relationship. That's fine, but there's a thing called pet therapy, and that's why it works, because it increases oxytocin. So if you have a human that you get to cuddle with and spend time with, wonderful. But if you don't, you can get the exact same thing from a plant or a pet. So we love that. People, pets, and plants, those are the things that can increase oxytocin. S is for serotonin. Again, you can get it externally, but you've got all kinds of serotonin receptors in the body because your body naturally makes serotonin as well. The vast majority of it is made in the gut, and a different type of receptors are also made in the brain. So you hear about dopamine and serotonin, the amines that can help with depression. So externally, yes, you can take an antidepressant and it will help your mood, it'll help you feel better. But you can also do something equally as cool. You can take medicines that are not in a pill form. You can take things that are naturally found in plants and such. So if you take certain herbal medicines, they can actually help your mood. Lemon balm, passion fruit flower, really, holy basil, different types of citruses, orange and lemon citruses. You can utilize those things and they will help lift your mood, and they actually will increase serotonin. And to some extent, they can also help with dopamine. The last E, endorphins. Yes, you could take pain medicines and all those kind of things, and it'll increase your endorphins. You can exercise. The triple E, the triple benefit. Love the exercise component. That's another reason we talk about from lifestyle medicine standpoint, because if you are exercising, you're actively increasing epinephrine and norepinephrine, especially if you're doing something that's going to increase your heart rate, and your natural painkillers, the endorphins are going to pop in. That's why when you're exercising, nothing hurts really. And you're just like, yes, I can do this all day, every day. Last set, best set. And then you stop. And then you're like limping out of the gym. That's because the endorphins were at prime time when we were exercising. And then when the exercising stopped, yes, some of the benefits still continue, but the endorphins didn't necessarily do that. So that's why you have people like me, the 50 and older crowd, who, yeah, we go and we exercise and we go hard in the paint. And then we have to sit and watch paint dry because our joints are a little bit, yeah, they're a little bit inflamed from doing that. That's why we don't want weekend warriors. We want people that exercise throughout the week and then go back and do some really cool things over the weekend as well. And you have rest in between and recovery. Can you say ice pack? Put in the comments, hashtag ice pack, because your endorphins do go up. You do feel better. And then the epinephrine goes up. You do feel better. But post exercise, post endorphins, and post epinephrine, you start feeling it. That's where magnesium comes in. Praise Jesus for magnesium. I love it. Okay, well, if you have questions about any of those things, please let me know. Now, The difference between happiness and joy, honestly, hey, I'm just going to go old school with you guys. Happiness and joy are not the same thing. And yes, there's been a lot of research on happiness. I'm clearly not alone. As I see in the comments, lots of research and science and many scientific books written about happiness, not so much on joy. And you know why I think that is? Well, what are the fruit of the Spirit according to Galatians chapter 5, starting at verse 22? Love, joy, patience, peace, kindness, gentleness. It's on my refrigerator, my son. Self-control, faithfulness. Against such there is no law. Notice that joy is a part of the fruit of the Spirit. And I do believe that joy is spiritual. I really 100% do. And I do think that that's one of the main reasons that happiness is different from joy. One, I think joy comes from sometimes inside. There's an internal nature as it relates to joy. I can remember being happy many, many times in my life, but experience this pure, unadulterated, just joy, like this sense of joy and utter calm peace. It feels like happiness, but it's an even stronger, intense form. Had nothing to do with what was going on in my life from a happening standpoint, other than maybe one thing. I experienced joy the day my daughter was born, right? Happiness, yes, but this joy that superseded the happiness. It's like happiness plus. It's like happiness on steroids, for the lack of a better term. But that real feeling of joy, I don't think it can be bottled. You're certainly not going to get it from a pill or procedure. No medical procedure that I know of that can do that. But there is this existentialism that goes along with joy. It's beyond the beyond if we're thinking about joy. So it is an emotion, yes. Yes, Nehemiah 9:10, the joy of the Lord is your strength. There is, I do believe that joy is just this almost like a spiritual emotion to me. I'd love to know what you think about joy. So add that to the comments. I'd love to see that. What do you think about it? What is the difference between happiness and joy in your opinion? Now, do we need both? Yes, I absolutely think we need both. I think that there's a reason that in my office we do a biopsychosocial spiritual assessment. Every provider does different things, but myself and my trainees, I do instruct them to do a biopsychosocial spiritual model because I think we're not just a body, right? We're not just a mind. We're not just a physical entity. I do believe we're also spiritual entities, which is why spirituality is on the rise. Not necessarily religion, but spirituality is very much on the rise. And you will see people who are seeking, you will see people who are interested in that. So I think you do need the happiness of happenings. I don't think anyone should be homeless. No one should be without food. No one, as far as I'm concerned, should be without healthcare. And that sense of safety and well-being that we can have from having a roof over our heads, food in our bellies, and camaraderie. Those are happenings. And yes, from that sense, we can have people that are happy because of that, right? Even when you're in a state of depression, certain things can make you feel happy. And even in a state of depression, you can have a sincere encounter that identifies as joy. And again, look this up. Don't just take my word for it. Go and start looking up who people write about and what people write about. You're going to see tons and tons and tons and tons of books, articles, research on happiness, positive psychology, and all of that. You're not going to see quite so much on joy unless it's also connected to something from a spiritual nature and something that we can't quite quantify or explain or even look at on an MRI. Again, 100% see certain neurochemical reactions happen when we're talking about happiness. A little bit difficult to quantify when we're talking about joy, true joy. So I hope that the science of happiness is something that you continue to try to cultivate, whether things are going well or not going well, so that when they're not going well, you can create your own happiness by getting that dose of medicine I talked about, and that you continue to do that spiritual exploration so that you can experience the ultimate joy. All right, we did this in under 15 minutes. I'm so glad we were able to do this together. Thank you so much for spending time with me. I particularly want to thank my team today, especially because they allowed me to do this, and we delayed a meeting just for a wee little bit. So I'm going to end. You guys have a very blessed day on purpose, and I love you with the joy of Jesus. Take care. Bye.